Crop Production Show has been underway in Saskatoon, and I've invited Mike Shewchuk of Shewchuk Seeds to come and give us a little bit of insight into what they're seeing firsthand with crop production in the prairies. And many of us have families and one or two generations away from the farm. So Mike, thanks for making some time in this busy week.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Very much appreciate it.
I want to talk a little bit about yourself first of all, and how you came to be involved in the farming operation, and what it means to you as a farmer firsthand.
Yeah. I guess I've always been fairly involved with the farm from a young age. I started probably. I never actually went to university. Just went straight to the rock pickers, you could say, and started. And from a young age, I saw some opportunity in the kind of the seed side of things there. So I saw the opportunity there. I stayed on the farm and worked hard from a young age. That was kind of something that was always engraved into us was hard work and good work ethic. So. I've always been there, always kind of looking for more opportunity to expand the family farm. So I guess I started straight out of high school, and the operation has evolved into I have a younger brother on the farm, older cousin, and I farm with my father and two uncles as well. So. We run a.
So it's a true family operation.
Yeah, true family operation. Yeah, we have two hired men there as well. Just kind of help alleviate some of the workload there, and when succession is definitely becoming on the scope of things there with my dad aging and uncles. So I mean it's something we're definitely looking into. So
keep growing.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the Crop Production Show, and you're also vice president with the Saskatchewan Seed Growers Association.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you bring some insight into what the trends are and so on. What are we seeing? I know you sent us some photos, and we had just some beautiful looking wheat. When we see crops that are emerging, there's niche markets and proteins and so on. What can you tell us about what's happening and what's coming in terms of what people are doing?
And I got to say that wheat was carryover wheat from last year, so it wasn't some of this year's production. So, I mean, there's kind of been a bit of a shift. Farmers are looking to maybe diversify a little bit more. Plant some of these different crops, niche crops, I guess you could say, just to get away from the canola wheat rotation, or canola rotation, that a lot of guys are going towards, because canola has always been, more the profitable crop. So it's good to see some more, diversity in crop rotations. That's definitely something.
Yeah. So you're a plant breeder. You're a crop and seed grower.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. So I guess as a seed grower, we're transferring the genetics that come from these breeding institutions. And multiplying them through generations and bringing them. So basically, on our farm, we will retail seed out to our farmer customers. So that's kind of where we fit in the whole industry loop there. So.
And with your experience and what we're seeing, generally speaking, we talk about plant-based proteins, and we look at what's happening, I guess, on the global scene with who's buying what.
Right.
What are you hearing with things, I guess, like lentils and quinoa?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, peas have definitely, there's talk. We haven't seen it yet, directly in the markets hitting, but there is definitely growing demand for something like yellow peas. Because of these plant-based protein, kind of a drive for them. So it's reassuring to kind of see some of these more local kind of crops being used in a more local fashion. We're seeing investment throughout Western Canada in new protein processing plants that are definitely bringing, it's great to see that investment for sure.
So when we talk about the canola crushing capacity, or if there's wheat or quinoa and lentils, I guess, you're also gauging what you can grow with what can be sold. So we have international markets and pressures that never mind our weather and so on. What are you hearing there?
Yeah, I mean, international markets are tough. I mean, over this last year, we've seen, it's a lot of political influence, I guess you could say, dictates markets. How markets have been affected. With canola or yellow peas or lentils. Both Chinese and markets to India. So those have been largely affected over the last few years, and it's hard to see. Those are huge cash crops for a lot of producers, and seeing those markets affected like that, it's hard to see. But there has been recently some kind of prices coming back, bouncing up back a bit from the 18 cents even down to 16 cents. Of red lentils back up to 23, 24 cents. So that's it's good to see kind of crops are going in the markets or trends are getting in the right direction.
And when we look at the type of equipment, some who have maybe attended the crop production show, and maybe some of our viewers that recall life on the farm with an 8-foot one-way or a disker and so on,
right.
and now we have drills of 76 and 100 feet.
Yeah.
What do you see with the type of equipment that's needed to generate those profits to keep that farm going?
Well, that's farm machinery has been a huge. It's expensive. I mean, those pieces of equipment are expensive. They're and at the end of the day, you need those pieces to generate a profit. I mean, they need to be efficient. Efficiency is key when you're looking at the new farm equipment, and electronics are a big part of that. Technology, electronics are huge in there, and it's kind of different. You can't go and hit something with your hammer to get it going again like you used to. I mean, it's a lot more specialized with the electronics nowadays, and even dealerships need to have so much trained personnel to get these, make sure these things are going. But it's definitely different than it was even 10, 20, 30 years ago. The technology has changed so much, and it's been a step in the right direction. I mean, obviously, it's technology has been great on the farm. It's with auto steer and precision farming practices. It definitely makes things more efficiency. Efficiency at the end of the day is what we're looking for.
So is it? I wouldn't say true, but I guess that the reality is here. It's now. The future is now. Mm-hmm. If we look at the GPS systems, and you can maybe do autonomous type of equipment. Right. Purchases and operators, right. And drones. Is that far fetched, or is that actually
no?
Happening?
That's definitely on the closing in horizon, I guess you could say. I kind of question some of the autonomous tractors, how good they do in some of the sloughs and bushes and stuff like that around those areas. But that'll come. It's technology always improves. But it's not far away. I mean, drones I could see. Maybe not so much on kind of some of the larger farming practices covering large acres. I think that's a little ways away. But for some of these smaller things like producing plots like we do as seed growers, I mean, if you get something in there that could recognize the off types and recognize those and I mean that would be huge. So it's not
sure.
It's not that distant. I mean.
When you look at some of the plant breeding technology that's happening, you would have a foundation seed that you would grow from, or certified,
Yeah, so it depends. I mean, you could go all the way up to we'll get typically we'll get seed from a plant breeder that's called breeder seed. So out of a university program or any other program. So we get that breeder seed. We grow it out a generation for select seed, then foundation seed, registered, and then down to certified. And certified seed is what we'll typically sell to our farm grower customers. So,
and it's important to have, I guess, good seed to start with for people that are wanting to grow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can't at the end of the day, you can't grow a crop without a seed. I mean, you could throw all the fertilizer and inputs and chemical, different things at it that you want. At the end of the day, you can't grow without a seed. So I mean, there's it's very, very vital part of the cycle there.
We hear about Dr. Seeger Wheeler 100 years ago locally near Roster, and some of the technologies that have evolved from that. You talked earlier off camera about some of the capacity for an acre of grain, wheat as an example, would generate about a bushel of wheat would generate 42 loaves of bread.
Yeah, rough figures. Yeah, about 42 bushels of, loaves of bread. And I mean, you could take that to the market and, get thousands of dollars for it. I mean, at the end, there is expenses to producing that bread and everything. But, when you look at what the farmer's actually, getting out of things there, it's a little disheartening. But at the end of the day, it's farmers. I guess you could say farmers buy everything retail, sell everything wholesale, and pay the freight both ways.
Well, don't stop now. We have a world to feed.
But I mean, there is a lot of opportunity and optimism in farming. I mean, it's and we look at plant genetics, like you mentioned there's a lot of opportunity there in genetics. To get more bread off of an acre of land. I mean, there's definitely not any more a base of land that's growing out there. It's we need to feed the world and keep up with the demands of a growing world. We're going to have to rely on technology and heavily on plant genetics to get us to meet these goals. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I look at you and I see a future in farming. You're a young father and a businessman in that sense, and glad to see that happening. And actively involved with the association, the seed growers. So thank you for your contribution, and to you and your family, a good growing season ahead. Thanks. And thanks for making time and coming down to us and educating us a little bit more on the farm.
Yeah, no, thank you. I very much appreciate the opportunity and chatting with you, Andy. Absolutely.
Good. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thanks.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.